on Amazon, or there are another techniques or something to, I don't know, to sell more products,
Yeah. Well,
you
I think
know?
at the end of the day, so your question was, how are you going to compete with these other sellers? I
Yeah.
think the best way you compete is you have a unique product that will stand for itself. And that's the whole reason that we're harping on coming up with a differentiating idea, and a strong, solid product. That's number one way to sell on Amazon, is have a unique product and have it be high quality. It's not going to break. It's very solid. It's a good product. If it's a good product, then the reviews will keep coming in and your ranking will keep rising if it gets good reviews. So that's the number one thing. And then in terms of launch, how you're going to get an initial boost in ranking, that's covered in the launch section. We'll worry about that when launch comes. But yes, pay-per-click is a big part of it. So it's basically getting quick reviews by doing giveaways and blasting PPC.
Okay.
The more money that you have, the better for PPC, which is just paying Amazon a little bit extra for more eyeballs and more sales up front. But at the end of the day, that's going to get you eyeballs. If your listing is good and unique, then it will get you sales, and your organic ranking will rise up from those PPC sales. And your organic ranking should rise as well. And if your listing is high converting and doesn't get a lot of returns and gets good reviews, then your ranking will continue to stay high for those keywords. And that's how you have a winning product. It stays high in the ranks. So, but to summarize, to compete, first is coming up with a product that stands out, that's unique and is good quality.
Okay.
Is actually, I want to go back and vet it through Pinterest. I wasn't really using Pinterest that much. I was mainly focused on Etsy, Google search, and Wish. So so I think using Pinterest would really help kind of differentiate, especially as I kind of begin to dig deeper. I also want to look into Alibaba to make sure that there is like a model available for certain things, like that I feel really, like in my head, I have these ideas for some of these things. I'm like, oh, it'd be really awesome to have this, but I don't know that it actually exists out there. So that's something else I have to kind of consider.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel pretty good.
Cool. Yep. Just chugging along, product research, brainstorming. So so after you have 50 ideas in the sheet, are you starting to go back through it now and dive deeper on those ideas?
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm doing now, is actually going through all of them and being like, they all kind of check off the first 3 questions. So now I kind of have to dig deeper into the other questions and kind of vet the numbers and look into Alibaba. But like I said, I also want to look into Pinterest just to make sure that like that will also inspire some ideas on the differentiation.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So now you're in brainstorm mode for differentiating ideas. Look around the internet. Look on Pinterest. Same thing. Start taking notes. Looking around for different unique models, features, functions, finds out there. And yeah, cool. Yeah. So you're on the right track. Keep brainstorming. Add notes to all those products. Cross out things that don't make sense. And yeah, hopefully by Sunday you can have that list narrowed down pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, so what I would notice is that, let's say I would see something on Wish and then I'd kind of look for it on Amazon. I wouldn't find it. And I think, oh, awesome, there's no one really selling this. But then after digging deeper into the Amazon search queries, then I start spotting the product. So then once I click into that product listing, then I see like the related products. And then I see, oh, actually, it's actually being sold a lot. In terms of like, there's a lot of listings, maybe not a lot of volume. So yeah, that's something else to consider out there for y'all, I guess.
Yeah. So you mean at first you weren't typing in the right keyword, right?
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it didn't appear in that specific search query, but then when you input something else that was maybe lower demand, or then it would pop up, and then I began to think, okay, so they're not on this popular term, but they're on this lower term.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. When checking Amazon, don't just assume that the main keyword that you think is the main keyword that most people think of when they're looking for this type of thing. So check different types of keywords for sure.
Hit, is it as soon as you order from kind of your shipper, does it get hit right there, like in the quote?
When do we see the Trump tax hit? I actually don't know. And what I believe our freight forwarder does, so I don't handle the logistics for my my business. But I believe what they do is send the inventory to Hong Kong first, or just like, yeah, they get it to Hong Kong and then send it to Amazon.
To just bypass that.
So yeah, have you reached out to the freight forwarder that I mentioned in the course?
Not yet, just because I haven't quite gotten there. Like I'm close, but I need to get branding done and then probably have them send me another shipment of kind of like the final things. I could just spot check it really quick before I do all that. But
Yeah, yeah. Ask them that. I think different suppliers handle that input tax differently if they don't already know how to get around it completely.
yeah, okay.
Video or just an ebook that tells you, hey, how to get the most of it. It gives you tips or something like that, which is very easy for you to find online. Search the keyword plus PLR, and you can find a bunch of listing. And PLR basically private label product that you can private label rights that you can buy for dirt cheap, like for less than $10. And once you bought it, you can use it as you wish. You can add it to your products as a freebie, as a bonus. You can even resell it. And that little task alone, that's gonna quite nicely increase the perceived value of your product. So find something that's really relevant, something that really adds value and shows people how to get the most of that product. That's a very nice and inexpensive way to set yourself apart even further and to really compete even more with other sellers. Because the last thing you want to do is to get involved into a price war and compete with other sellers based on price. Because if you do that, nobody's going to win. It's going to be a race to the bottom, and against Chinese, you and I will not be able to compete because they're getting even lower than factory prices, because most of the time they are the factory. A lot of time your factory is going to be competing against you in China. So that's why it's we have to do everything we can to first differentiate our product, and second of all, to increase the perceived value by adding extra whatever items, guides, videos, whatever we can to increase the perceived value. So that's one of the best ways to do that in an expensive and smart way.
Thank you.
Yeah, yep, good reminder. Throw in as many digital bonuses as you can to sweeten the offer.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that might increase conversion rate a little bit, but it's not enough to rely on as your sole differentiating feature.
Mm-hmm.
As Payman said, he said it's
Sure.
To sweeten the offer, but
Exactly.
make you stand out even more. But don't rely on that as your differentiating idea, because they're gonna your title and main image is what should ideally convey that main physical function differentiating idea. That's the most important thing. It's what they're going to see in the main image. And, you know, Amazon shoppers are savvy. They're going to buy it primarily the usefulness of the product. Number one, not because of the digital bonuses on the side, but those digital bonuses, once they get to your listing, can help increase conversion rate a bit. But we'll worry about that when we're doing launch. You can do that kind of last after everything is set up.
Yep.
Like have one supplier do all of the bundling?
Good question. Yes, you can do bundles between multiple suppliers. Absolutely. So we actually did that for our first product. For our selfie stick tripod, it was kind of a 2-in-1 kind of a bundle, more of a 2-in-1. But it was a selfie stick, GoPro pole, and a tripod, and from different suppliers, and also a Bluetooth remote, all from different suppliers. So you simply contact them, and you have the 2 accessory pieces. Send the pieces to the main supplier. You can figure out who the main supplier is, up to you, and they will bundle them together. And what we had to do was we had our main supplier organize a custom packaging. So a blister packaging, which is like a plastic little mold where they each go in. So yeah, your main supplier can help you arrange a packaging option that makes sense. But yeah, of course you want to order all pieces to yourself, to your home, to check it out, verify the quality is sturdy, it's not going to break. And then simply have the accessory be sent to the address of your main supplier. They'll give you her address and your sales rep's name on there, and it'll arrive at their place, and they will package it all together, and they'll bundle it for you.
Yeah, another way you can do it is I heard a couple of high 7-figure sellers at the Global Source Summit last October when I was in Hong Kong. They were saying that yes, you can do that, but it's kind of risky to do that. What they recommend is to get your product sent to a third party, either in China or in the US, and then they pack them all together, because you don't want your one supplier to know all of the content of your package, so as to limit the risk of them competing against you, because that's always a risk with Chinese suppliers. And instead what they do, they just send all the products separately from different suppliers to a third party, either in China, outside in Hong Kong, or in the US, and then they package it together, just as an extra layer of protection against competition from your own suppliers, some other unscrupulous and shady people that can be at the factory, because there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there as well. So that's what these people recommended as well. Maybe that might not be an issue for you starting out, but once you do find a product that's actually selling and selling very well, then that's something that I would highly recommend to do at that time to protect yourself.
Yeah, in an ideal world, one supplier, but yeah, can be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, Amazon Choice Badge. How do you get that was the question. It is, so the Amazon Choice Badge is based on, from what I understand to be the most popular choice for that specific keyword that you just typed in. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if you click on a listing, and let's say it's on like page 2 or something, you might still find it has an Amazon Choice Badge on that listing. It says Amazon's choice for some long tail keyword that you didn't necessarily type in, but that means that this is the best choice for shoppers that typed in this long tail keyword. That makes sense. And on page search results, let's say you type in, doggy bowl set, the next to the main image, if it says Amazon's choice, that means Amazon's choice for what you just typed in. But yeah, there's an Amazon's choice for every long tail keyword.